get that kind of performance with a normal muffler. That's all to do with the straight pipe. So we're gonna stick this son of a bitch in fucking probably in, I don't know what that is there, probably B1. We got this big fucking thing behind it here. We're gonna just step it out of the way. Hey guys, how's she going today? Well, time for Army to go in the shop. So his starter shit the bed completely here. We're gonna shove it up in here at the tractor, but I'll bring it back in a minute because I gotta pay attention. Well, next morning here and Army's all thawed out. Now that he's warm, the starter wants to work good enough again, at least anyways, to this fucking whore of a phone. Wants to work good enough to start and stop it a few times here anyways, at least, but anyway, Dad's got to figure out what does what on there because it's got levers coming from every direction, so anyway, we're gonna lift the loader off with the McCormick here and then I'll bring you back in a few. Tight quarters there, not much room. Well, a little bit later on again here. I've been working on it for a couple hours, but I got the starter off because it's dragging really bad. I had to count how many teeth were on it here. There's a 9 or a 10 tooth. This one is a 9 tooth. Ryan had put a solenoid on it at one point, but she's pretty much fooked here, so get a new one of those coming, and we've just about got it ready to split, but we need to make something different for our splitting jacks because usually our jacks bolt to the frame. And well, since this is the unibody here, there's no frame, we're gonna have to make something to attach to here off the oil pan and hold it up to keep everything square. Pop this suction line off for the hydraulic pump, and oh, you can't see. That's a nice milkshake. Yuck. So that's gonna have to get filter and some fresh oil in there. That's not too good for nothing like that. And then well, of course, never worked on one of these before, so we got to figure out what the trick is to getting those 3 bolts in there. That's kind of a gay setup. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out, but I guess and then also his one battery connection here. That's one way you don't have to put a cardboard over the rad there, eh? Straight pipes, just put a square bale in her. She'll be good. Anyway, we went down to do this connection here and it was just fooked. So cut the cable back to where it was good and we will put new end on there for him. That wasn't helping his starting issues either, I wouldn't think, but anywho, kind of a cute little gaffer, so we'll get her. Anyway, bring you back in a few. There. Been feeding them barley and pea straw, and then when they're about halfway through their 8 barley and pea bales that we put in the rings, give them 1 millet and 1 clover ground up like this, plus their grain. They each get about a gallon of chop a day. Barley chop, so nice and fat and happy. Then the clover like that, they didn't want to eat it just straight either. They wanted it ground. Some of the stalks were a little bit big, so they weren't too keen on it, but once it goes through the shredder there, they enjoy it quite a bit more. And still, they don't like it as much as the millet, which is kind of surprising, but they still lick it right up, and there's nothing left but a little bit of green snow when they're done. So anyway, I guess back to the shop. Talk to you when we're there. Well, it's dark outside now. Dad's prediction of clutch on the ground by dinner time wasn't quite, but the day's not done yet. More we work.
Say which day at dinner time.
Yeah, that's fair. Could be the end of the week. The more he works on this thing, the less he likes it, I'm thinking here, because they've got this great big wiring harness with no common plug-in in it. 3/4 of the tractor tore apart. They kind of wanted to be a 1466, so they put a fuel tank in the way of a bunch of bolts, so you got to take the fuel tank off.
Fucking John Deere with their fuel tanks in the front.
Yeah, fucking John Deere with the fuel tank in the front. Oh, look, nothing to have to deal with when you got to work on it. Terrible idea, that. Fucking horrible. Anyway, we won't get into that debate because everyone knows we're right, so. Anyway, we're getting there. I don't know, I keep saying that we're close, and then we find 15 more things that have to get undone before we can do something else. But I was gone for a couple hours this afternoon because I went and got that for this, but that's a different video. So anyway, I guess try and get the fuel tank out of the way here now maybe, and we'll, I don't know, see what else is in the way after that.
It'll look better.
Hopefully. Oh, look at that. Now we've
Free knife?
liberated these. Dad found a knife underneath the fuel tank.
No. What do you call
Fucking phone. Okay, in there, in between the fuel tank and the firewall. There you go, Ryan.
There's that knife you lost 20 years ago.
He says it's been about 8 years since the last time he split it, but he couldn't remember. I'm starting to see why he didn't want to remember anything. He blocked it from his mind. At this point, he was 2 cases of beer deep, probably, to keep from burning it down. Anyway.
This one has to stay here until we put it back together.
Can't get the socket out. Whatever, he'll remember where it belongs. Alright, so now we got the big wiring harness and dash laying on the floor. I see where Ryan split it last time. So we'll just start undoing wires and eventually we'll be good to go. Ryan might have figured out why your hydraulics didn't seem so very good no more. That's, yeah, pretty good restriction there. That's factory. That's how they do it in Europe, isn't it? Make it one size and kink half of it off. Good old. Ah, that's a Ryan piece, but I mean still. He was inspired by Fiat. Okay, being more and more like a John Deere all the time here because it's going to actually have connections in the wiring harness now. Ready?
Yeah, and there'll be a kerplunk in a second when the drive line falls apart. Isn't it? Stop.
No.
Here.
Is that what we're up against?
Yeah.
Getting there. That's a good bearing. That could possibly be some of the issues he was having. Luckily though, I caught all the bearings so we can put it back together.
Yeah, we'll just put those balls back in there.
It'll be fine.
If they're all just piled up in the bottom, that works, doesn't it?
A little bit of white grease in there to hold them in place.
Good enough.
Factory.
Good enough.
The women don't find you handsome, they'll at least find you handy.
Okay, go down below.
You want to just take them all off from the top, let it fall on the floor.
Well, we know how to torque them anyway. We torque them, or just
let this go as hard as it'll go.
Yeah. Oh, now the other side.
Heavy little gaffer.
Not bad. Whichever disc this one is, it's not in bad shape.
Maybe it's just because his bearings were so hooped.
Okay, let's get it done.
Yeah. Come apart now.
Ooh.
Maybe not.
Do it. Where's that? Right?
Yeah.
And there's your spring pressure.
Now them ones. See if it'll slide up.
Put your hand on that one, lift.
That's kind of ugly.
It gives better traction.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is just about to the rivet.
pretty much done. Made its last square bale, that one.
Flywheel isn't bad, but boy, these
Those are
fingers
done.
are burnt off.
Hmm.
Look how hot that got. Melted them right off.
Yeah.
When the balls fell out, maybe the release bearing was riding against it. Or something.
Almost ended up like the 4520 there with everything red hot and broke the flywheel into 3 pieces. That would have been good. Good YouTube content. Oh well. Nothing some new parts can't fix. Well, there we go. Got old Army all torn apart and what was wrong with them figured out for the most part anyway. It'd be a matter of getting some parts ordered anyways and get them back together. I don't know how quick parts will show up, but hopefully it won't take too long. Anyway, we got that 4320 in there to work on, so that'll probably be the next video. I guess thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to all you guys in the next one.